There are actors who may have a pretty face and an impressive list of works, but the truth is, not all of them have the talent for acting. At least that's what the critics say. At the top of this list is a singer-turned-actress who has received significant criticism for her performances, Yoona. Yoona achieved tremendous success as a singer and, over the years, transitioned into acting, gaining recognition in popular dramas. Her most recent work, King the Land, in 2023, was well received by some viewers, but the general opinion of the Korean audience remains divided. Many believe that Yoona has yet to reach the level expected of an actress of her popularity. When she began her acting career, the criticism was even harsher. Yoona was often described as stiff and unnatural in front of the camera, which undermined her credibility in dramatic roles. Although she has shown progress over time, her biggest challenge seems to be conveying emotions in a more convincing and versatile way. An example of this was in the film Exit, where many viewers complained that it was difficult to tell whether her character was laughing or crying in key moments. In Happy New Year, her expressions were deemed superficial, failing to convey the necessary emotional depth. However, her recent roles in Big Mouth and King the Land have demonstrated clear improvement in her acting. This evolution may lead some critics to rethink their opinions of her. Go Ara, besides being an actress, is also a model, which means her beauty has always drawn attention. Getting new roles doesn't seem to be a problem for her, but according to the audience, there's still a lot of room for improvement when it comes to her acting. Many believe that her career was boosted by being under the management of SM Entertainment, a giant in the Korean entertainment industry, and by strategic changes to her image over the years. Harsher criticisms arose mainly from her earlier roles, such as in Hwarang, where the audience considered her performance lacking charisma and engagement. To be fair, her character didn't help much either, being perceived as generic and uninteresting. This combination led many viewers to question her potential as a leading actress. Some even compare her to a flower without fragrance, praising her beauty, but pointing out the lack of impact in her acting. Despite everything, Go Ara continues to land significant roles and, with time, might surprise those who still doubt her talent. Who knows? Her future in dramas could bring the turning point her career needs. Another actor who is extremely popular for his looks is Jong Suk. He has appeared in numerous successful projects, but the big question raised by the public is he recognized for his talent as an actor or simply because of his good looks? Many people believe that he stays at the top despite delivering performances considered average, primarily due to his appearance. Some critics are convinced that he focuses more on pleasing fans and maintaining viewership, offering just enough in his performances. This has led to frequent accusations that he doesn't put enough effort into improving his skills, relying instead on his popularity as a safety net. Additionally, viewers point out that Jong Suk seems overly concerned with looking perfect on screen, which sometimes affects the authenticity of his performances. For instance, in scenes where his character should be in intense pain, his expression often remains polished, almost satisfied, which diminishes the emotional impact of the moment. Another point of criticism is the lack of challenges in his choice of roles. Jong Suk is often accused of gravitating toward characters that require little emotional complexity, limiting his growth as an actor. Even so, his loyal fan base remains strong, raising the question, is charisma and good looks alone enough to keep him at the top for much longer? And what about you? What do you think of Jong Suk's acting? Do you agree with the critics, or do you believe he's being underestimated? Now, on the list is someone you probably didn't expect, Lee Min-ho. He has a massive fan base and is likely the most popular K-drama actor worldwide. However, many acknowledge that, when you think about it, his acting has been quite weak in some of his earlier works. Given Min-ho's fame in the industry, it's fair to say that some of his performances don't live up to expectations. Some believe he's a prime example of how the industry prioritizes good looks and popularity over talent. When people talk about his poor acting, his role in Boys Over Flowers is frequently mentioned. Even though that was a long time ago, his awkward performance still haunts viewers to this day. The same can be said for his role in The Legend of the Blue Sea, which many found lackluster. Min-ho is often criticized for his repetitive approach to acting and for seemingly playing the same character in every drama. It's almost as if he's portraying a version of himself rather than crafting unique roles. This lack of depth isn't well received, especially considering that he has over a decade of experience. Fans expect him to elevate his craft, but many have been left disappointed. On the other hand, his recent work in Pachinko showcased significant growth. Many viewers were convinced that perhaps he's not as bad as critics claim. This role opened the door for him to display a more versatile and mature side to his acting. Eun Woo, another singer-turned-actor, is also frequently criticized for his lackluster performances. Having good looks can certainly take you far in the industry, but eventually, people will want to see more than just that. In Eun Woo's case, netizens often describe him as a handsome actor with no emotion. K-drama fans often point out that singers who transition to acting tend to struggle with conveying conveying emotions effectively. Of course, not all of them are bad actors, but they do seem to land lead roles more easily due to their pre-existing fame. Considering the strong fan base Eun Woo has built over the years, directors likely assume that many of his fans will watch his dramas regardless of the quality of his acting. In My ID is Gangnam Beauty, for example, he faced significant criticism for his performance. Many viewers claimed that all he did throughout the series was stand still with a blank expression. His acting was deemed stiff and mediocre, and it wasn't the only time such remarks have been made about his skills. Despite the criticism, Eun Woo remains one of the most popular faces in K-dramas, but the question lingers. Will he be able to improve his craft and prove himself, or will he always be seen as just a pretty face? Lee Min-ho's ex-girlfriend Suzy is also frequently criticized for her acting. Much like Eun Woo, Suzy began her career as a singer before venturing into the world of K-dramas, and her transition to acting hasn't been free of controversy. She starred in several highly successful dramas, such as While You Were Sleeping and Vagabond. However, despite her popularity, her acting is still seen as inconsistent by many viewers. There are scenes where she truly shines, but at the same time, moments where her performance is so weak that you start to wonder if it's even the same actress playing the role. This was especially true in her earlier works, like Dream High, where her acting was considered cringeworthy. It's normal for rookie actors to be a bit stiff, but in Suzy's case, it was so evident that it became uncomfortable for many viewers. Another common criticism is her lack of chemistry with co-stars. While her visual presence is always flawless, she rarely manages to create believable connections with her romantic counterparts in dramas. Despite the criticism, Suzy continues to land significant roles, and there are those who believe that with dedication and growth, she can eventually overcome these critiques and solidify her place as a respected actress. Finally, we have Park Shin Hye, who has likely received more criticism for her performances than anyone else on this list. Her name always comes up when discussing poor acting. Many viewers can't stand her romantic scenes, pointing out that her acting often feels extremely bland. Some even go as far as saying that she should stay away from romantic comedies altogether. One comment harshly remarked that she seems to look like she's in pain when she has to film kissing scenes. Another major issue is the types of roles she chooses, which are often generic and fail to bring anything new to the table. Rarely do we see a different side of Shin Hye, and this has caused many people to lose interest in her dramas. Her facial expressions are also a frequent point of criticism. Many say she has the same dull demeanor in most of her roles. In Sisyphus, The Myth, she attempted to step outside her comfort zone by taking on a more action-oriented role, but without much success. Although she showed improvement in certain action scenes, she still has a lot to work on when it comes to her expressions and the depth of her performances. As long as her past roles continue to haunt her, it seems that Park Shin Hye will struggle to leave a lasting impression on audiences. Will she ever be able to change this perception in the future?